And I said, something seems wrong. And that was about like 4 seconds. And what about the social engineering side? Because I'll give an example of something that happened to me. And I consider myself at least to be a fluent builder. And there was an example of a guy who had reached out to me on LinkedIn, and his LinkedIn profile looked legit, like he was some business owner, entrepreneur. We have mutual connections, right? And he reached out to ask, if I wanted to help him out with the build of this project that kind of leveraged both blockchain and AI, right, together. And I thought it was a very interesting request, right? So I took a look at the project myself, looked at the code in isolation, and then I didn't execute anything, right? So then I was negotiating, a project budget. And then he said, oh, did you actually run the project yet on your local machine? And I thought, that's interesting. So I went to look at the code again. And, again, I'm just scanning the code myself because it looked like a very simple chess game, right? And I said, okay, it looks pretty simple. Shouldn't be an issue. I'll run this in Claude Code just in case. And so I ran it through Claude Code, and then all of a sudden, and this was through Windsurf, all of a sudden Windsurf said, hey, this app is asking for direct access to these folders, right? And I said, something seems wrong. And that was about like 4 seconds. Canceled it. Then I was like, asked Claude Code. I said, hey, can you please, run through this project and see if there's any malicious code in it? And then it said, yes. It was like, there's malicious code. It has this like well-known Trojan that's like, going across the web at the moment. And then I went back to this LinkedIn guy. Of course, I deleted everything, had to check all my keys, refresh them. And the guy, of course, did not respond, right? I reported him on LinkedIn, reported him to Atlassian because he actually was hosting this code, this project on, what is Atlassian's version of GitHub? So reported it and, they took it down. But this was the first time in a long time where even I was essentially duped into running something like this.